And it's one thing to participate from the assembly, but as soon as you are asked to read the Word, you pay attention to it, you try to understand it, you try to read it so that you are transparent and the Word lingers. You become the spokesperson of the assembly, or you're a communion minister, and you're asked by holding up the host or the chalice to invite an act of faith from the assembly. That's astonishing, really. And the first few times people do it, it is really transformative.
One of the themes that the Second Vatican Council found in the early Church was the importance of baptism. Starting with the Constitution on the Sacred Liturgy, the Council began to refer to all of the baptized as the people of God and the mystical body of Christ. These terms began to change the status of lay people.
If the Church is the mystical body of Christ, then we share in the work of Christ, and we have a role to play in our own being saved. Not that we save ourselves, but the work of Christ on the cross to redeem us, the work of His paschal mystery as a means of salvation, is something that we don't just sit back and receive passively, but we engage in actively. And one way in which that's expressed is in the way in which the liturgy is celebrated.
It was like raising your status, you know, to be called the people of God. Just ordinary people being the people of God. And yes, nobody ever had said that that wasn't true, but that wasn't the emphasis.
By virtue of their common baptism, all Catholics are called to some form of ministry. In baptism, Christians are invited into the three roles of Christ as priest, prophet, and king. They act as priest in performing various ministries. As prophets, the people of God bear witness to the truth of the paschal mystery, and as kings, aid in administering the daily functions of the Church.
The emphasis on the role of the baptized was incredibly important, I think, at the heart, really, of everything else that happened as a result of that, the renewal, because people felt themselves having, again, this kind of a whole new status, but also a responsibility that comes with being a baptized member of the community. When we understand ourselves as having rights and duties, that's an empowering thing. You know, it says to us that this is for us to be doing.
As the liturgy was reformed, the laity, by virtue of their baptism, were invited to participate as readers, sacristans, ushers, cantors, and extraordinary ministers of Holy Communion. In these roles, lay people are able to experience more fully Christ's presence in the liturgy.
There's this amazing quotation from Oscar Romero. "You are a priest, my friend," he begins. And he said, "The surgeon with her scalpel, and the man at his farm stand, and the cab driver eking out a living. You are all priests, my friends, if you make Christ present to other people, if you enable them in this moment of encounter to touch something of the sacred or of the divine. You are a priest in everything you do because you are one with the priesthood of Christ."